humor when you're in our shoes. Otherwise, how do you handle a day like that?
Well, tell us more about it.
They were still unprepared for arresting so many people in wheelchairs. That's why the Rights were able to set it to riot and roll on out of there.
Well, obviously they did find a way to transport you then.
Yeah, they got an ambulance with a wheelchair lift. I guess they figured that way if they got me out, at least they were prepared for it. But even then, the guy with the lift couldn't figure out how to work it, so I finally had to yell, "You have to hold the button down, dude." Before they got me away.
Once they took you in, what was that like?
Oh, fingerprinting was interesting. Young men don't lie flat like the cops were used to, and their camera had trouble. So it was like low enough to take my mugshot, which I've been assured was adorable.
Were you placed in a cell?
The doors weren't wide enough, but I posted bail before that became an issue.
Did you or any of the members of Voice set fire that day?
No. It was an organized civil protest like we've always done. Whatever happened was unintentional, but it wasn't our finest moment.
Thank you. No further questions.
The state has no questions, Your Honor, but we do reserve the right to recall this witness at a later time.
In that case, the defense rests, Your Honor.
Your Honor, sidebar? Only lawyers get those. Not like they ever use them. I enjoyed girl chat as much as the next judge, you know.
Your Honor, you need to see this.
Oh. It would seem that the fire marshal's report has been completed. And rather than waste a lot of time, I'll just tell you it was ruled arson. They found traces of an accelerant on an exterior wall. Apparently, it was a cheap brand of vodka. Accordingly, the charges against the defendants will be amended to include 1 count of arson in the first degree, which carries a 20-year prison sentence. We will resume proceedings in the morning.
Hearing, court is now in session.
Seriously?
Now I just have to see how this ends.
Hashtag none of the hashtags. Welcome back. All filings have been completed on both sides to account for the updated charges, so it looks like we're good to go. The state has rebuttal witnesses to call?
We do, Your Honor. The state calls A. Terrence Pennyworth.
A. Terrence Pennyworth. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I thought you said this part was voluntary.
Oops.
Oh, I do.
Sir, you are the current CEO of the corporation that owns All Starview Nursing Homes. Is that correct?
In addition to a vast amount of other holdings, yes.
Yet, you were present on the day in question. Why is that?
This has been one of my personal projects for some years now. I was instrumental in opening the first home some 12 years ago.
Why has this home meant so much to you?
I'd been looking for a place to put my own mother as she grew more fragile late in life. I wasn't happy with the facilities that were available at the time.
I take it that that's one of the reasons why your home is the most decorated in the industry.
Well, I let the staff do most of the decorating usually, but for the holidays,
I was talking about the accolades and the awards that the home has received.
Oh, yes, I know that. And yes, That's why we have been voted Nursing Home of the Year for some 7 years running.
And also, we were all glad to know that there were no significant injuries or fatalities after the fire. How was that accomplished?
Because we hold the well-being of our residents as paramount. And we also currently employ a large number of unpaid interns who are very helpful in the evacuation.
And these are the people you are training in convalescent care, is that right?
Yes. And just to be clear, all these interns are receiving college credit. As long as they are legal residents, of course,
Yes.
because illegal aliens
And also, how was it that your home became a place for a younger population of residents?
The court started getting a lot of cases of people with mental retardation and other defects. But at Starview, we take the burden of caring for a disabled loved one off of working families so they can get on with their lives.
And
I'm very proud of the work we do.
how was it, what's happening after the fire with the residents?
Well, obviously, we don't have a building to put them in until we get the insurance issue resolved. But we'll do right by them. I just wish it hadn't come to this.
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Your witness.
You seem very fond of all the residents in your nursing home, or as you so charmingly refer to it on tape, the Roach Motel.
Yes. I had just come from a charity function where they were a bit liberal with the vodka martinis.
Oh, good. So your alcoholism makes your remark much less offensive.
It's ice.
Withdrawn. Mr. Penningsworth, you said that your holding company just doesn't own nursing homes, does it?
That's correct.
In fact, they hold private prisons, isn't that true?
Yes, Barview Corrections and Starview Nursing Homes make up a lot of BS Holdings Incorporated.
Yeah, I bet they do. In fact, your prison population is the highest in the state, isn't it?
Well, we are fortunate enough to be involved in not one, but 2 growth industries. Our stockholders are very happy.
Oh, well, I bet they are with the rising boomers retiring and the rising incarceration rate. It's odds are we're all going to end up in one of your homes or another.
Objection!
Withdrawn.
It's true, the infirm or the criminal, the convicted or the convalescent, we take them both.
Touching. You were aware that when you opened your nursing home, the Olmstead Act had already been enacted, hadn't it?
Well, I'm not sure exactly.
I was instrumental in opening the home some 12 years ago. Hashtag learn math, because Olmstead was enacted some 15 years ago. Sorry, last one.
So you were aware that housing the mildly disabled was in violation of the Supreme Court ruling.
Look, I have lawyers to deal with things like that. The fact is, I was approached by state entities about the state's interpretation of federal law. I'm not the one who decided these people belonged in a home.
But you were all too happy to take compensation for each and every one of them, weren't you?
Objection! This man is not on trial here.
True enough.
Look, are you aware of the cost of providing individual assistance to all the mildly retarded people in this state? Taxes would have to skyrocket to compensate. It would be exponential growth.
Or we could just stop throwing away money at private prisons and redirect it to another cause, but that's just my opinion.
Objection!
Which one? Mr. Penningsworth, you said you were waiting for the insurance company issue to be resolved, didn't you?
Did I?
Would you like her to repeat it? She seems to enjoy it.
No. That is what I said.
In fact, The insurance company had made payment in the amount of $34 million.
I haven't received that figure.
And that figure is pretty big considering enrollment in your home had been down for 3 years running. I'd say the home catching on fire for you wasn't all that bad.
Well, from a financial perspective, I have nothing more to say.
There's really no need. We're finished.
You may step down.
The state calls Elsie Sorted.
Elsie sorted. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes.
Elsie, you're a former resident at Starview Nursing Home, is that correct?
Yes.
Tell us what your experiences there were like.
Well, what was it like to live there, Elsie? Were they good to you there? It's okay, take your time.
Did you want to go there to begin with?
Well, at first I didn't want to go there, but I didn't have any family anymore. And they said I had to go there, so I did. They said I couldn't live alone anymore.
So it was hard for you to adjust.
Yes, but then I got to know the building, and I made some friends, and then it wasn't so bad.
Can you please read from your diary about the day when the home burned down?
That was exciting. There were lots of new people. They looked like the kind of people in the home, but they were different somehow. And they were outside the gate. So I snuck out. I know how to do that. I went to the liquor store. They treated me like I was normal. But maybe that's because I had money.
Let's just stay with the day of the protest, shall we? What did you see?
It looked like a party. Because they had a pig on a stick and they were that they were eating. They sounded like they were singing. It was fun.
What happened when the police came?
They asked me what I was doing there. I told them I was going to a party. Then there was the man on the pig's face. He was just up here. I don't like him.
So what happened after the police and the pig face man came?
Shut up. It ruined the party, and I saw a girl smoking in a wheelchair. She threw the cigarette away.
Where did she throw the cigarette?
I don't remember.
So you saw that girl throw a lit cigarette away outside the home?
Yes. Is that all?
Thank you, Elsie. Your witness.
So it sounds like a really fun place to live there. You're so lucky you get to live there.
I guess.
You used to live alone. That doesn't sound fun.
Well, that was okay. That was okay.
the nursing home didn't treat you like you were an adult?
No, they don't let me drink anymore.
What?
What I got from the liquor store. I told you I know how to get out. When they found the liquor bottle, they took away things like Bingo.
The game?
No, Bingo is the cat that used to visit me.
Oh, okay, I see. So did that make you angry?
Yes,
So when they talked about burning down the home, did that sound like a good idea?
Objection!
Sustained.
Because you know what you bought at the liquor store and you
Counselor,
used to...
discontinue that line of questioning.
I'm done, Your Honor.
Redirect, Your Honor. Elsie, what's it like where you live now? Are you better off now than you were at the home?
well, I don't know where anything is. And there aren't any activities. And the food they bring me isn't very good. I don't like it there. I wish I could go home. To the home.
You may step down, Ms. Sorter. Has the state any further rebuttal witnesses?
No, actually, just one, Your Honor. The state recalls Sybil Lawrence. First of all, I would just like to say, what an inspiration you are.
Thanks.
I mean it. The way that you stand up for others and you're so confident and independent, it's just really inspirational.
You mentioned that.
Does that bother you?
It's just a funny word, that's all.
How so?
I just hear it a lot, especially used towards people with disabilities.
What's wrong with that?
Well, first of all, if I'm inspiring someone, I should be inspiring them to, do something. I usually don't see that happening. What people mean when they say that is, I've inspired them to be glad they're not like me.
So you resent being seen as an inspiration?
Objection.
You know who else was seen as an inspiration? Oscar Pistorius. Emphasis on was. Ever since that pesky murder charge,
Objection.
it's like that's what it takes to stop being an inspiration. Kill someone.
Was that the real goal of the protest?
Your Honor.
Withdrawn. But you did want to draw attention to the issue of Olmstead non-compliance
Of course.
because you hate the idea of people put in a nursing home who are otherwise able to care for themselves.
Yes.
You yourself were in a home several years ago, and you were there for 2 years, but you decided to leave the state instead of remaining there.
That's right.
And now, you're a successful professional. You have a career. You're an activist for your cause. You have more abilities than disabilities.
Everybody does. That's the whole fucking point.
You'll watch the language.
What did the home represent to you?
Objection. Abstract.
Sustained.
You hate the idea of being in a home and what it represents for people like yourself. That's clear. You feel that you want to punish people who might put you or others like yourself in that position.
Leading, Your Honor.
Isn't it true that now that the home is gone, it's not violating Olmstead?
Technically, that's true.
So you accomplished your goal.
That wasn't the goal.
Are you sure?
The goal was to fix the home. Fix the whole system.
But you didn't do that. You broke it. And I feel like the View nursing home was better. That's what you did, is you broke it.
Okay, that is an awful name for a nursing home. Let's just admit that right now.
Why not leave well enough alone? Wouldn't it have been better to do nothing?
It's never better to do nothing.
I think that Elsie Sorton would disagree with you. Was it worth destroying the only home she's ever had just to prove your point?
Yeah, you're fucking right it was.
Objection!
Just to the language. The rest stays on the record.
Attention.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I will now hear final arguments.
The defendants would have to believe that what happened at the home was an accident. It was not. Yes, we can all agree that Star View is the worst possible name for a nursing home. However, they accomplished exactly what they set out to do. Maybe they have a noble cause. Maybe you agree with some of their goals. But you cannot deny that when the members of Voice couldn't get their demands heard, they put their own agenda ahead of public safety. Stanley Baglow had the idea for the effigy. Snooky Westerman lit the flame. Ray Oakes expressed disregard for the safety of the home, and Sybil Lawrence, which you have just heard, had no problem with the home being gone, was in possession of the very accelerant used in the fire. Closing the home was not their job, nor their right. They broke the law in doing this, and they put hundreds of lives at risk. And it is time to hold them responsible. Thank you.
I'm not going to go and spend much time going over any of the evidence that any of them set fire that day. I don't have to. It doesn't exist. And not only that, you have seen and heard verifiable evidence from others who had motives, means, and opportunity to set fire that day. And I'm going to remind you of one thing. It's the Constitution. The Constitution guarantees that people have the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. It guarantees that people have the right to gather, organize, and protest peacefully. It guarantees that a person is innocent unless proven guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. I ask that you take all of this with you as you deliberate today.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is your duty to weigh the facts and evidence in this case and return with a verdict at the conclusion of the deliberation period. And no pressure, but if that could be just a few brief minutes, it would be fabulous. Bailiff, please assist the jury with their instructions. We are in recess.
So listen, guys, I'm not sure how the verdict is going to come back. So I want you to know all your options. I think it's going great.
You're doing terrific. We trust you.
Well, thanks. You know, I've been doing disability law my whole career, so I'm hoping for the best. but there's something we need to consider.
What's that?
Well, it's diminished capacity. What? Diminished capacity. It's like an unbalanced mental state to reduce the charge.
You want us to get up there and say we started that fire in an unbalanced mental state?
Well,